Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and today is day 48 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and celebrating myself. So, yay, to day 48. Um, um, Coming up with things that seem so random to me, but they work and they're still working. And I'm amazed that I have come up with something to celebrate or to share in a video about celebrating myself for 48 days. And I'm just saying that because it's still just this. I'm still just in the process of changing my perspective and how I view myself. And seeing 48 days of doing this is just kind of like, okay, there's a lot about myself to celebrate. There's a lot of good things about myself that I have not been recognizing or giving myself credit for or appreciating about myself. So I am learning to be grateful for myself, appreciate my gifts. So today, for day 48, I celebrated being willing or having willingness, because it's one of those things in my 12-step program. It's one of the steps. I think step 6 is willing to have God remove all these character defects or defects of character or something like that. And then step 7 is humbly ask God to remove all these defects of character. So step 6 is just becoming willing, just being willing to do things, even if I don't do them, or even if I don't do them completely, or I finish them, or whatever. But there's that difference between I'm willing to do it and I'm not willing to do it. And it's amazing the things that I'm willing to do. If I ask for God's help, He will help me do the things I'm willing to do. If I'm not willing to do it, I'm not even willing to ask God for help to do it. I'm just like, it's not going to happen. So my willingness, my attitude, kind of determines what I will accomplish for the day. And I am learning to listen to myself. I'm still learning. I don't do it perfectly. We'll probably never do that perfectly. But I'm willing to ask myself, or learning to ask myself, what am I willing to do today? Because I have days where I struggle and I'm just like, I'm not willing to do anything today. And I'm like, okay, what am I willing to do today? So I was willing to deal with a migraine and go help my friend, my Brazilian friend. Um, Not really sure why I was helping her. She wanted me to go with her to her an appointment so that I could help her understand what the other person was saying, which I just think is funny because I don't speak Portuguese, or Brazilian Portuguese, or and I don't speak that at all. I know a little bit of Spanish, but it's very little, and I always get myself in trouble with a little bit of Spanish that I can speak, not because I say bad words, but because I speak it well enough that people that do speak Spanish think I understand what they're saying, and then they start speaking to me really fast in Spanish, and I was like, no, that's the only Spanish I know. I'm sorry. So it gets kind of frustrating for me and or for them because I think I understand and can speak, and I'm like, no, I don't speak enough. So I have to remember not to speak Spanish because I'm willing to learn. I need to learn more Spanish. I would like to actually understand that language entirely, but I just know a whole bunch of random vocabulary words and a few sentences that can, help me, but also get myself in trouble because people think I speak Spanish and I don't. So, because I grew up hearing it, so I don't have that much of an accent when I speak Spanish. So, because I grew up around it, but I didn't learn it. So anyway, I don't always sound like a gringo when I speak Spanish. This has nothing to do with my being willing. I'm willing to learn the language. I just have to sign up for a class or something. I don't know. Anyway, I was willing to go with my friend, even though I'm not really sure how helpful I was. I was able to share some information at the appointment that I hope was helpful, but it kind of confused my friend, so I had to explain it to her again. I thought I explained it to her when we were at the appointment, but then later she asked me to explain it to her again. And then she needed to pick up some things and she didn't know what they were. And she's like, oh, I have that at home. And I'm like, do you have this at home? Really? So I looked it up on Google. I just Google searched it so I could show pictures, images of it. And I'm like, do you have this? And she's like, oh, no, I don't have that. Images. I'm like, do you have this? Like, no. And I'm like, then you don't have this at home. We need to go to the store to buy these things. So I guess it was beneficial because she didn't actually understand what she was being um, told to get, or what was suggested for her to get. And I'm like, okay, I will go with you to get these things. So I did all of that, and I was willing to do all of that in spite of my headache. I was also willing to go to a emotional self-reliance class that my church is offering, which sounds really interesting, really cool. And I know I've done tons of therapy, and I have done lots of 12-step programs, 12-step work. I have lots more of that to do, to work on myself. I have my other books that I do, Healing Our, Opening Our Hearts, Healing Our Losses, that grieving book that I need to work on some more. Lots of things I know to do to help myself emotionally, because I have depression, I have anxiety, I have panic attacks. I have all kinds of, tricks up my sleeve that I don't always use, tools that I have that I can use. But I'm willing to go, and I'm willing to learn something new, or to just have what I already know be reinforced or reiterated. So I'm grateful that I was willing to go to this class, because I didn't have to. I could have said, no, it's too inconvenient for me. I don't have the time. I have too many other things I need to do. And I went knowing I still had a headache. I still needed to go. And I'm I'm one of those introverted people, not extroverted people, and I kind of, when I don't feel good, I have I want other people to take care of me, but at the same time I don't want to be around other people because I'm just mean and ornery and emotional, and it just uh I have a I was talking to someone from work a couple of weeks ago, maybe a couple of days ago. I don't know. We were talking about introverts and extroverts and how introverted people have like a limit. So much, there's only so much socialization they can do. And they're like, I've been around too many people for too long and I am done. And I've always been one of those people. I'm good with just, one on one or two or three people in a room. But you start getting like five or six people in a room and it starts feeling overwhelming to me. And you start getting like 10 or 20 people in a room and everybody's having a conversation and I feel lost in the room. I'm like, I don't know where I fit in here. And and it works for my 12-step programs. It works for this class because everybody's sitting in a circle, everybody's in a room. I mean, it works for church because everybody's paying attention to one person. They're all participating in the same thing. Same with school, all participating in the same activity. But when you have like 20 people at a party and they're not all participating in the same activity and they're all having their own separate conversations, it's kind of like, I don't know what to do. And if they were all focused on me, I would probably freak out. So it's not my thing, not my thing at all. So it also, wasn't helpful that I had a bit of a headache. So, but I was willing to go anyway. I was willing to go and to learn and to do. And I had someone texting me because they want to stop by, someone from church that wants to stop by. And I don't know why they want to stop by. I don't understand what it is. They've come here before. They've offered to help me with my to-do list and do things. And I'm like, cool, that would be awesome to help me do the stuff I can't do. And then never follow through, never anything. And then I asked for some help and they're like, oh, hey, can we stop by? And I'm like, oh. So I have to be willing. I am willing to make time, make arrangements, rearrange my schedule or something so that they can come at a time that's convenient for both of us. But it is frustrating to me. And part of me was just like, I just don't want to do it. I just want to say this isn't going to work for me. But then I remembered that if I want the blessings, that I have to be willing to put forth the effort. I have to be willing to do the work. And some days I am willing to do that, and some days I am not. And I did not go to work. I was willing to sacrifice that because I wasn't feeling well and was hoping I could get some sleep and feel a little bit better. So today my head doesn't hurt quite as much, but my willingness to do things is not there either. That's what I get for taking too much time off of work, I think. Anyway, but that is what I celebrated for day 48, is just willingness and having willingness in my life, and recognizing that when I'm willing to do things, that God will help me to do those things. He will help things to fall into place. He will make things work. And it puts me in a position where I'm willing to learn new things and be open to new things. So it kind of goes with my open-mindedness thing that I celebrated a while back. Because it does help me to recognize that I don't know everything and that I am willing to learn new things, more things. And so, I mean, I went to the self-reliance class. We had an interesting conversation, got to share, got to listen to things to do, suggestions on what to do. And basically, the things I was sitting there, I'm like, oh, the challenges that we're supposed to do are all the things that I need to be working on and that have helped me in the past. So I know they work, like reading my scriptures and meditationals every day and writing in my journal every day and making a gratitude list. So I'm like, yeah, these are all things that I already know that work, but it is good because it's in a challenge situation and I like challenges. So if I meet the challenge, it will help get me back on track with things that I know I'm already supposed to be doing, but it also makes me accountable to other people for doing those things. So I think it's a good thing for me, and I am willing to um, accept the challenge, accept the class, see what else I can learn from other people, or willing to share what I have learned about myself, what I have learned about the things that I've been going through, the things that I'm dealing with. I have been willing to share quite a few personal things in these videos. Part of that willingness, I think, comes from knowing that not very many people watch these videos, kind of freaking out about the idea that maybe someday a whole bunch of people will just randomly start watching all my videos and I'll be like, I'm totally exposed to the world. But but this is who I am, and I am learning not to be ashamed of who I am, to be proud of who I am, and I'm willing to see myself differently through all of these videos and these experiences and these things that I'm choosing to go through, challenges that I have set or accepted, that God has placed before me or given me the opportunity to take on. And I just figure, okay, this is what God wants me to do. There's a reason. There's something for me to learn. There's something for me to do. And it is helping me, I think, to see value in myself and to put forth the effort to get the things or have the things that I know that I need to take care of myself, to be there for other people. And it is just amazing that I am willing to do all of these things, because I know there's been times in my life when I haven't been willing, but I was willing, and I am grateful for that. So that is my celebrating willingness for today. And if you like these videos, you can hit like, subscribe, share with someone else if you think they'll like it too. And if you have some things you've been celebrating about yourself, please share them with me, because I don't want to feel like I'm the only one willing to do this. And hope you have a great day full of gratitude and maybe do some writing.